From Hollywood. Welcome to the Rat's Ass Podcast with Mojo Elliott.
If you could see me now, I'm all slouched down in my air chair, relaxed. Man, I'm so comfortable, I feel like I'm doing dope. All right, my fiends. Gotta warn you up front that today's episode is going to be full of piss and vinegar. Piss and vinegar. From the Mojo studio on Sunset and Vine, buckle up for another action-packed adventure.
Let's do it.
Here's what's on tap on the Wrap. Operation Epic Fury, my ass. My tuchus. My bungus. You can take your pick. I've got proof the United States is cruising on the highway to hell. Want to hear the greatest rant I've ever heard in my life that wasn't mine? Well, stand by. And it's bye-bye bimbo. And hello, Mimbo. Another round of Fed trauma's on the way. Who's up for a game of Total Recall coming up? Plus our usual lunacy and loose behavior, including What Say You? And Mojo's Fucking Funny. That's what's happening today on the Rat's Ass Podcast for Thursday, March 5th. And like I said, we've got a double doozy for you today. So thank you for being here. My producer, Fleabag, was telling me last night that we're starting to get more email from listeners wanting to know more about me. And I get it. I'm the host of the show. You're going like, who's this guy anyway? I do assume it's because our following across the 6 social media platforms we're on is starting to grow faster. Fleabag said we're up 83% over the past 3 weeks on Facebook. So, you know, it's kind of like you get a post, it takes off on some kind of an algorithm. You don't know why. It's like surfing. You know, you go out on the board and you're flipping and flopping all over the ocean until you catch that one wave and you're sitting on top of the world. All right, back to reality. Here's the deal. I'm not one to talk about myself, though, because I don't believe people really give a rat's ass. I mean, if you listen on a regular basis, I think you'll pick up on things from time to time and form your own conclusions, so to speak. I really don't feel comfortable sitting here going blah, blah, blah about myself, and I am sifting so much lower in my air chair. Hang on, I got to sit up like a big boy here. But I have started posting a few things about my social life on social media, so I'm trying to open up a little bit. I'm like a flower opening during springtime, and it's not here yet. We got a few days, so I ask that you please bear with me. All right, let's get into the wrap here. You know, it sure is fun watching the Democrats melt down over Operation Epic Fury, isn't it? I watch and I laugh. I watch them melt and melt and melt. But who decided to name this mission after what happens when you take too much Dukalax anyway? I mean, I got to be honest with you. I'm watching this thing, and this mission doesn't look like Operation Epic Fury to me. It's more like Operation Run, Motherfucker, Run. The Democrats keep screaming, Trump doesn't have a plan. Well, yes, he does. The plan is to send Iran back to when their only mode of transportation was a camel. That's the plan. But I do have a message for President Trump. Sir, when you're done kicking ass and taking names and taking care of the radical Islamists in Iran, how about kicking their ass out of the United States next? I appreciate your attention to this matter, sir. Now, I know you think I'm out of my damn mind when I tell you I think the United States is going straight to hell. And if you don't pay attention to me, listen to this post from Spot Media 101. I think you'll find it very interesting.
Does this image shock you? Well, it should. Because what you're looking at, a radical Islamic reimagining of the American flag, isn't just a provocation, it's a warning, a mirror of history. This is exactly what happened to Iran in 1979. A flag with a millennium of heritage erased, a symbol of Persian kingship and Iranian identity replaced by a banner of theocratic rule, Islamic inscriptions wrapped around it like chains. And the man behind it? The Ayatollah Khomeini, a master of deception. He spoke in the language of liberalism. He promised democracy, diversity, a government based on the will of the people. Sound familiar? He called himself a man of peace, even compared himself to Gandhi, and the world bought it. Iranian liberals, students, intellectuals rushed to Khomeini's side. They mobilized protests, strikes, propaganda campaigns. Also sounds familiar. Western media ran glowing profiles. The New York Times praised him. The BBC made him a hero. Even Jimmy Carter backed him. And once Khomeini took power, he slaughtered the same liberal saviors that held open the gates for his barbarism. Mass executions, thousands purged. The revolution was over. The mosques they empowered became launch pads for terror. Their new Islamic Republic became the world's most aggressive exporter of jihad and the birthplace of Hezbollah, Hamas, and other terror proxies. Jimmy Carter's reward for backing the Ayatollah? 66 Americans taken hostage at our embassy, held for 444 days until Ronald Reagan took office. This was Taqiyya in action, the doctrine that allows lying to advance Islamic rule. Khomeini's mask slipped only after he had total power, and by then it was too late. And if you think the West is immune, think again. European countries like France, England, and Sweden are already unraveling under the scourge of radical Islam. And it's knocking on America's door, in our universities, our media, and even government. And just like 1979, it wears the mask of social justice, anti-colonialism, and solidarity with the oppressed. Same playbook, same lies, same useful idiots.
Now, I want you to think about this one. Over the past 24 months, 48 mosques have been built in Texas. Why so many and why so fast? Now, this isn't to say all Muslims are murderous. Many are respectful and peaceful. But the radical Islamists hide within the Muslim religion, and it's difficult to tell them apart. So if you're a listener in Texas, I think you got to be concerned. You really need to get in the face of Governor Hot Wheels, Greg Abbott, and say, hey, what's up, Kimosabe? What are you going to do about this? Now, if you think people are pissed off in the United States about liberalism, I want you to check out this rant from a TV host in Britain.
It horrifies me to read that. And Jake is right. Our amazing armed forces deserve all the credibility. They deserve good resources. They deserve to have our full support. They deserve to be protected, for crying out loud. We were exposed out there. We knew that there was going to be war in that region, and we have left them undefended. And now France and Greece are having to run to our rescue. Do you know what? I've got a message, not just for this Prime Minister, but all of you, for the past 20 years, you have been self-indulgent, you have been naive, your policy principles have had totally the wrong priorities. It's been about keeping your seats, gaining your seats, pandering to communities who will never vote for you, who do not have our interests at heart. You didn't stop those pro-Palestine marches. You didn't prescribe the Muslim Brotherhood. You didn't prescribe the IRGC. You were weak in support of Israel. You have sabotaged our self-sufficiency when it comes to energy production, concreting those oil wells, banning exploratory drilling in the North Sea. What on earth do you think you're doing? You're domestic terrorists. You're sabotaging this nation. You're compromising food security by attacking the farmers. Well, guess what? When international maritime shipping routes close down, food can no longer reach our island. Everything that this government and, quite frankly, previous governments have been doing for far too long now has been pathetic. It's been weak-willed. It has had its eye off the ball. It has been narcissistic. It's been about looking good in public. And at the same time, you have put Britain in a desperately precarious situation. You've flooded this land with foreign enemies. You have not secured our borders because of a pandering to out-of-date, not fit-for-purpose international law and treaties that belong in the dustbin of history, that defend our enemies and straitjacket our ability to defend ourselves. You have bowed down at the altar to every single dangerous, perilous, pathetic and weak woke ideology out there, filling up your shopping cart, showering yourself in faux moral glory. Well, look at where we are now. We're not able to defend our RAF base. We are completely out of the picture, not trusted by our allies. In fact, they're having to rush to our defence. We got the highest energy prices in the world, and guess what? With the cost of gas going up 90%, we're going to be hit hard. Qatar, the one person who was supplying us with liquefied natural gas, well, they're not going to be able to anymore. And are we self-sufficient? Are we resilient? No, because everyone who's been in power just thinks war is a distant thing that won't happen to them. What is more important is rainbow lanyards and pronouns. You're pathetic. Look what you've done to this country, the lot of you, for crying out loud.
That is one of the greatest rants I've ever heard. But what she said is 100% true. I mean, if you think they're pissed off in Britain, you just wait until it gets here in the United States of America. Britain has been left completely exposed because of their leftist-leaning Muslim catering policies. And this is what Trump is up to, and why he's working so damn hard at making America self-sufficient. Yes, we can still be involved in a global economy as long as we're self-sufficient here. Okay, it'll work both ways. Now, I agree this is what Trump is up to, and you might have heard this. because it all ties in with his America First agenda. He wants to slow China and Russia's roll by taking on Venezuela and now Iran and making them allies. If the United States controls the flow of oil and natural gas, which China, Russia, and Cuba depend on these other countries for, and they depend on us a little bit more, we always act like we're the sane ones here. Let's take care of everybody else, and we'll just control everything. But we secure the United States now and in the future. Because when you control oil, you control the world. Unless we do something stupid like putting Democrats back in power. Now, the good news is we're all going to save on Tylenol because Jasmine Crockett is gone. Oh, my God. My Tylenol bill was through the roof because of her. In fact, I got so nuts over this person that anybody that posted anything with her yakking on X, I actually blocked him. And I'm not a blocker, but I couldn't take it anymore. But she's voted out. She's gone. It's like the Wicked Witch on Wizard of Oz. I'm melting. Naturally, she claimed that she got cheated after swearing elections were fair and unriggable. But the fact is, the Republicans are a little pissed because she lost. They wanted her out there on that wall. They needed her out there on that wall. Then we've got Tampon Tim Walz testifying in front of the DOJ about the fraud in Minnesota. Oh, God, this was pathetic to watch. He said he showed up prepared for the meeting, but when Rep. Nancy Mace got a hold of him and started asking him questions, he didn't know or couldn't recall a damn thing. Now, either Walz is an ignorant putz, or he's been to the Bill Clinton school of the 5 Ds of being a Democrat. Deny, deflect, divide, distract, and demonize. Yeah, learn it, know it, live it, my fiends. Now, as you know, I scroll through social media to find interesting viewpoints to share with you besides my own, for a feature we call What Say You? This is Jason Lamar on cancel culture.
If saying men can't become women makes me transphobic, then I'm transphobic. If saying being fat is bad makes me fatphobic, then I'm fatphobic. If pointing out obvious things makes me racist, homophobic, or misogynistic, then I'm racist, homophobic, and misogynistic. Shit, I'm a narcissist and a Nazi too. Whoop-de-fucking-do. These terms are now meaningless because they've become buzzwords that losers use to shield themselves from unpleasant truths. They've learned that if you accuse someone of hate speech, it shifts the attention from what they're saying to the claim. So they've weaponized virtue to wage war on reality and reshape it in the image of their victimhood and entitlement. To them, accountability is a form of intolerance and facts are bigoted if they hurt somebody's feelings. They're comfortable being fed lies as long as the lies make them comfortable. How ironic that the people who are so obsessed with oppression don't understand that that's how you wind up enslaved. So call me whatever it is that you'd like, because at the end of the day, I'd rather be hateful and free than inclusive and imprisoned.
I think Jason nailed it, man. Life is a game of sticks and stones.
You wouldn't believe the size of his bat and balls if I told you.
Let's leave it that way.
Here's Mojo Elliott with his spin on sports on the Wrap.
All right, legendary football coach Lou Holtz passed away on Wednesday at the age of 89. Lou won 249 games and a national championship at Notre Dame in 1988. Lou was one of these old school, suck it up, buttercup, or get off the field type coaches, but he did it with love and his players respected him. I got to tell you, man, I love coaches like Lou Holtz, and the world misses guys like John Wooden, John Madden, and now Lou. The World Baseball Classic gets underway on Friday. The USA opens up with Brazil. Are you watching? Man, I love this stuff. I love the competition between the teams from around the world. And this story caught my eye. Apparently, there's an assistant coach at Cal State Bakersfield here in California named Kevin Mays, who was also moonlighting as a pimp across 4 states. Yeah, he's coaching the pick and roll and selling pussy on the side. Head coach Rod Barnes apparently got an email from a hooker that used to work for Mays, threatening the university, and Barnes turned the email over to their HR department, and currently Mays is in prison, or not in prison, but he's in jail, being held without bail for other deviant behavior. But it doesn't surprise me. I mean, have you seen the salary for an assistant basketball coach at the D1 level? Oh, it's hardly anything. Let's see what gives on the chat box on ratsasspodcast.com. Tony Pizzuti from Schenectady, New York says, what do you think the Knicks' chances are to win the NBA championship this year? You know, I've always followed the Knicks. They're kind of like my side hustle next to the Lakers. I think they have an excellent shot. They've got experience in the playoffs last year, and you get the Knicks in a 7-game series. I think they're a hard out. I really do. But if they face OKC or San Antonio, they might have a problem. Daryl Yoli, New Orleans, Louisiana, said, my Pelicans gave your Lakers a run for their money on Tuesday. What are they lacking to become a contender? I'll tell you what, the Pelicans, they got some good young athletic talent. What I would do is move on from Zion Williamson because he only plays 25 games a year. He's another Anthony Davis type. Great player when he's on the court, but can't stay on the damn court. I would give him up and pick up a couple of veterans to lead the pups. Yeah, you get some leadership on that team, some vets, and they might go somewhere next season. So they're not that far off, Daryl. And that is my spin on sports today on The Wrap.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, the name of the game is Total Recall. I'm going to give you 4 facts, and you have to tell me the order they happened, starting with the earliest. All right, here we go. Event number 1, the Iranian hostage situation during the Carter years. Led Zeppelin releases the album Physical Graffiti. Ghostbusters makes its debut in theaters, and the first space shuttle mission takes flight. Okay, one more time. The Iranian hostage situation during the Carter years. Led Zeppelin releases the album Physical Graffiti. Ghostbusters makes its debut in theaters, and the first space shuttle mission takes flight. All right, kick it around. We'll have the answer for you coming up here on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
It's time for some loose behavior on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
Yes, it is indeed. All right, like I told you, man, we had some piss and vinegar today, and so it's time to lighten up and laugh a little bit with Mojo's Fuggin' Funny. Let's get sticky with Nikki. This is Nikki Glazier.
I'm going to get it fixed. I'm going to get a facelift pretty soon here, and my boyfriend doesn't want me to. He's like, no, don't do your face. I love your face. Do your tits. And I'm like, what? That's all he cares about. He's a short guy, so that they're like all he sees, I think. I think that's why he's focused on them. I do date a short guy. He's shorter than me, but he's like really hot. And I honestly think that's why I got him, because I could never get his face on a taller model. Like, if you want to get a 10 in the face, you got to go 5'7" in the height. That's the trick. It's like getting a hot guy on discount. He's marked down. I met my boyfriend at TJ Maxx, clearance rack. He was hiding in it. It's crazy. Sometimes I'll post a picture of us online, and I'll get comments of like, girl, he's hot. Like, how'd you get him? And I'm like, if you zoomed out, you'd see he's sitting on my lap. So this is a tiny guy.
Hey, heads up. Here comes your celebrity cheese.
Justin Timberlake, solo singer and former member of NSYNC, is trying to get the police body cam video of his arrest for a DWI in 2024 submerged from public view. He feels it'll do too much damage to his public reputation. Now, I'm wondering, what did Justin do? Perform dick in a box for the cop? I checked. It was a male. It wasn't a female. All right, you all know how much we love Britney Spears here on the Rat's Ass Podcast. Well, unfortunately, Britney was arrested for a DUI last night in Ventura County, California, and taken to the Pokey where she remained until this morning and was released. Now, I believe she lives in Thousand Oaks, where she dances on InstaBitch, by the way, if you've watched the show that she does. I mean, it drives me nuts. People think she's crazy for doing this. It used to pay hundreds of dollars to watch her sing and dance. Now she does it for free, and you think there's something wrong. It's very strange how you feel that way. So it's probably close to her home where she got arrested. And by the way, in case you lost track, Britney Spears has now been single for 369 days.
Who gives a rat's ass?
All right, who wants a Taylor Swift, Selena Gomez update? Nobody? How about a Bad Bunny official Super Bowl halftime show numbers? All the ratings. No? Move on? Okay, yeah, that's kind of old news, right? All right, Savannah Guthrie's back to work on the Today Show after more than a month after her mother's disappearance, and she has yet to been found. The Guthrie family remains hopeful for the best, but are prepared for the worst. Now, the Today Show, if it wasn't rated number one, I'd suspect this whole Guthrie missing person case could be a stunt to get ratings.
What the hell kind of joke's that?
Hey, have you heard the new celebrity skincare product that's ripping through Hollywood? Yeah, it's salmon sperm. Yeah, you heard right, salmon sperm. Apparently, Kim Kardashian and Jennifer Aniston swear by it and rub it all over their face nightly before going to sleep. You know, kind of like when they were single in their 20s. Except it wasn't from salmon.
That's just about enough of that.
And that is a sticky slice of celebrity cheese for you today on the Rat's Ass Podcast.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Email from our Gmail.
All right, let's see. Where are we at here? I got to sit up again. I keep slouching down in my damn air chair. I'm getting too comfortable. I'm about ready to go to sleep at any moment. I could just on you. All right, this is where anything goes. When you send your questions, comments, and observations to my producer, Fleabag, at ratsasspodcast.com. ratsasspodcast@gmail.com, for those of you who like the right email address. All right, Kurt C., Lancaster, Pennsylvania, said, a quick question on Radio Wars. How do you determine the winner if you have a tie? Well, if we're tied with a station, we count when we're counting the votes, the next vote that comes in determines the winner. It's kind of like sudden death in hockey. You know, if it's 10-10, we sit there and we wait until we get another email, and that's the one who determines the winner. So far, 9-0. Hopefully this week we'll go 10-0. It's WMMR in Philly. Today, the last day to get your votes in on the blog at ratsasspodcast.com, by the way. Dana G., Tampa, Florida. It's nice to see you're starting to share more of your personal life on Facebook. See, told you, I knew it was from that. You posted a photo this week chilling on your patio. How was the grass so green in early March, and I thought everyone lived on top of each other in California? You seem to have a lot of space. Personally, I'm ready to get out of Florida to beat the humidity and the alligators. Well, I have space because I live way out in the middle of Santa Monica Mountains, away from the riffraff. And it's green because in California, oddly enough, it's green during the winter and we go golden during the summer. It's why it's called the Golden State. And you're more than welcome to come to Cali anytime, but please leave those damn gators behind with you. Matthew W., Kalamazoo, Michigan. Have you ever stolen anything in your life? And if so, what? Oh, I'd be lying if I said no. I always be honest with you. Of course I have. When I was 14, we moved to a new city, and I wanted a new pair of tennis shoes to try out for the basketball team at the new school. So I got this bright idea to go to a shoe store and put on a new pair of shoes and walk out and leave the old shoes in the box behind. And it worked. I got away with it. I was walking down the street going, oh, I can't believe I got away with this, man. This is cool. And I've been on the run ever since. No, actually, my mother caught me when I walked in the door. She said, where'd you get those shoes? We don't have the money for those. And she actually dragged me back to the store to admit what I did, and she paid for the shoes to keep my keister out of trouble. Yeah, my mother, the Cyclone. We called her Cyclone. I didn't have a father growing up, but I didn't need one because of Cyclone. All right, Jake K., Ventura, California, said, one of your previous podcasts, you said you didn't date wait a minute, I fucked that up. You said you didn't date when you were single because you hated meeting girls' parents. How did you get away with that? Well, if I liked the girl, I'd ask her out, and I'd continued to date her until she said, hey, would you like to meet my parents? And that's when I removed her from my little black book. Seriously, the first girl I dated, I met her parents, and it was a nightmare. Scared the hell out of me, you know? One of those dads. See that 12-point buck on the wall? If you touch my daughter, that's going to be you sitting right next beside her. And this is like, okay, I don't need this crap. So, so the first girl I dated, I met her parents and my wife's parents. That's it. Everybody in between, it was a no-go. But that's how I knew I wanted to get hitched, because I wanted to see who conjured up my wife. I actually wanted to meet the parents. So it was kind of, kind of a sign, if you want to put it that way. And thank God her mom was petite, too, because, the mom is the window into the future of what your bride will look like in the future, too. So keep that in mind, fellas.
Rat's Ass Podcast. Head trauma.
All right, let's see how you did with Total Recall today. I gave you 4 events, and you had to put them in the order they happened, starting with the earliest. So let's review. The Iranian hostage crisis situation. During the Carter years, Led Zeppelin releases the album Physical Graffiti, Ghostbusters makes its debut in theaters, and the first space shuttle mission takes flight. All right, what did you figure out? What did you jot down? If you had Led Zeppelin, the Iranian hostage crisis, the Space Shuttle Challenger, and Ghostbusters.
Yeah, baby.
Congratulations, you got it right. But if you missed it, go see a doctor about your head trauma and get well soon. All right, that's going to do it for me. I volunteered to be a corpse at the morgue today. I'm told they'll zip me up in a body bag and shove me in the cooler until I beg for mercy. Sounds like fun, doesn't it? All right, but first, is this real or is it riffraff? Scientific studies show sarcasm can increase an individual's IQ. Alexa, is this real or is it riffraff?
Believe it or not, this is absolutely 100% true.
Really? Interesting.
Yours must be off the charts because you're a sarcastic mother humper.
I don't hump mothers.
Oh, that's right, you're afraid of falling in.
Okay, that's it. You're done.
Go ahead, muzzle me if you want and make my day.
You got it. There you go.
Get the fuck out!
All right, welcome to Rat Nation. Patsy Wilcox, Tyler, Texas, Lewis Friend, Yakima, Washington, Nora Schellenberger in Rapid City, South Dakota, and Colin McCarthy in Boise, Idaho, and around the world to listeners in Toronto, Canada, Paris, France, and Adeline, Australia.
Now's your chance to be one of the few and the loud. Join Rat Nation at ratsasspodcast.com. Membership does have its rewards, you know.
All right, that's it for this episode of the Rat's Ass Podcast. Go to ratsasspodcast.com to visit the hub, listen to previous episodes, read the blog. It's loaded with lots of hot topicality. You can watch Rat's Ass Rock TV, join the mischief at Rat Nation, and connect with us on the socials. We'll do this again on Monday, March 9th. Take care of each other, and thanks for stopping by the Rat's Ass Podcast in association with the Oz Podcast Group.
The conversation continues between podcasts on X and ratsasspodcast.com. ratsasspodcast.com.